Well, 2023, hey? It's coming to an end. Christmas is just around the corner. I thought it was time to do a video about the year. This is going to be one of those videos where you don't need to watch. There's going to be zero graphics on the screen. If you want to just chill and watch, you can, of course, but there's no graphics. You won't need to. You can put the headphones in while you're at the gym or going for a walk. Leave the telly on in the background while you're doing some housework or something. Chuck the Bluetooth on while you're going for a drive, and let's just have a chat about Pokemon investing in 2023. The plan of attack in this video is pretty simple. We'll have a quick chat about the year that was. I'm going to have a chat to you about what my year looked like, and then I'm going to pop some advice at the end about what you could do to reflect on 2023 and then moving forward into 2024. So let's get into it, hey? 2023, what a year. It seems to have sort of had it all. We've had 6 English Pokemon cards sets printed for 2023, starting with Crown Zenith. We obviously had Scarlet and Violet, the introduction of the all-new era. A big change for Pokemon cards, moving to silver borders away from yellow, aligning itself with the border color of the Japanese equivalent. So we've had Scarlet and Violet base, we've had Paldea Evolved, we've had Obsidian Flames, we've had English 151, and then we've instantly almost jumped onto Paradox Rift. So you could argue that the printers have been at an all-time high in 2023. Last year we had 5 English sets. The year before that we had 6. The year before that we had 5, and the year before that we had 6. So it seems to have been a bit of a trend, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5. Does that mean we're going to have 5 next year? Or is it going to be the first year to buck the trend and go 6 and 6? Geez, with the new Paldea Fates around the corner, you'd think they're probably going to go 6 again next year. But anyway, that's the year. It's been super busy, plenty of sets coming out, hard to keep up with, very, very hard to keep up with. It feels like just when you've spent some money, another new set seems to drop around the corner. Completing a master set has been near on impossible because the next one just comes out. Buying booster boxes and elite trainer boxes has seemed near impossible as well, because it's you spend your money on one and before you save for the next, another new one's out. Plus then you're trying to backtrack and buy Sword and Shield boxes. Life's gotten extremely expensive. The cost of living's gone absolutely through the roof. A loaf of bread's $5 and a carton of milk's $5. Like, it's expensive. Everyone's mortgages have got dear because interest rates have gone crazy. So anyway, my year. I want to have a quick chat about that. And then also, like I said, give you some advice on how to reflect on maybe your year and what to do moving forward into 2024 towards the end of this video. So 2023 was a big shift for me because I suppose it really started this for me. It was back in start of April, that I made the shift to start, I suppose, really moving on to the social platform, I guess, that is YouTube, and sharing my, I'd say, decades now, 20 years of knowledge, and hopefully transferring onto some of you guys that are either starting out your journey in Pokemon investing, collecting, or moving back into the hobby, or literally starting from day dot, or helping the kids or family or whatever it is into the journey in collecting space and investing space. So that's been the biggest change for me in 2023, is starting this, trying to get this off the ground, trying to get it moving. I have bigger plans for it in 2024. But that's been the biggest shift. Now, in terms of the YouTube side of it, that's one part for me in 2023. It was a goal and a challenge that I set myself to sort of build up this community where people can have discussions down in the comments. They can watch videos and hopefully learn something, and then hopefully it moves forward into something bigger and better. In terms of that YouTube, that's one part, like I was saying. And the other part for me is obviously the collecting side. So how did my investments perform for 2023? Because, I think, and this is probably going to land more in the advice section at the end, at some stage you've got to reflect. You've got to reflect on your investments moving forward. So mine performed okay. Like, it hasn't been as good as it has been in like last year, but most things are pretty good. Like, if you look at, you could say the whole market, we're in a bear market and you hear all this and all that, but I still think there's A, good pickups, and B, a lot of sets that are still performing well. So I would be up on my sealed collection about 20% for the year, which for a bear market year, a stock market that's done next to nothing for the year, in fact, probably had money wiped off it in most markets, like 20% on Pokemon is still a good year, I think. Now, you might have done better than what I have. You might have done a little bit worse than what I have. You might have gone backwards even, where you've maybe lost a touch of money. But to sort of summarize what investments worked well for me is still booster boxes. Like, you can't go wrong with them. I've got some older Sun and Moon ones. If you've seen some of my other videos, things like Cosmic Eclipse and Unified Minds and Unbroken Bonds and Burning Shadows, they're just on that slow trickle up. Cosmic's moved from probably, in Australian dollars I'm talking, 800 to 1300. Something like a Unified Minds, which I did call, if you do remember me saying about 6 months ago, I did call Unified Minds to make a strong move in 6 months, and it has. What's that? Probably $1,100 box now. It was probably $650 6 to 9 months ago. Things like Evolving Skies has still had an incredible year. I've got a couple of cases of that, so happy days. Other English sets like Chilling Reign have made some pretty strong performances this year, to maybe the tune of 20%. A booster box. Sets like Fusion Strike certainly made big moves in the US, not quite as much in Australia down here. Even some of your quieter, more printed sets from earlier Sword and Shield that I invested probably more heavily than I'd like to admit in, Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage, or even now that they're, the printing cycle is well and truly out of range for them, they are starting to slow. Like, it has been a very slow burn, but they are starting to slowly tick up. Darkness Ablaze at the start of the year, you could still pick up at 210, 220 Australian. In some cases, probably even cheaper than 200 Australian. Whereas now, if you can pick one up for under 250, like, you're doing pretty well. Some Japanese sets like V-Star Universe has been pretty solid. 151 Japanese is just, I know it's early days and it could possibly get reprinted, but 2 months ago when I picked up a bunch for 220 Australian, they're already sitting probably somewhere around, it's the cheapest you can buy them in Australia now, 270. Like, they've already gone up 20% in 2 months. So there's been some strong performances. Probably a couple of ETBs have gone a little bit backwards. Not too much, but maybe to the tune of 5 or so percent. So not everything's a winner. I'm not saying that every single thing I buy, like, listen to me, like, everything, I know everything will go up that I buy. There are things that I've taken losses on. Mostly though, those ETBs that I have taken losses on are just part of the collection and part of the display. So, that's sort of been my year, is twofold: starting this channel and getting off the ground. And I really want to get it to a place where I can start giving back, as in, if we start opening some boxes, which is one thing I'd like to throw in the mix, whether it be every 10th video or something, is to start opening some boxes to the stage where the YouTube channel sort of funds the box, so to speak, off the revenue or whatever it might be, and then any hits I can just start giving away to people. So you can sort of share them with your kids or put them in your own collection or whatever it might be. I think that's one thing I would like to do in 2024 is take the channel down that path a little bit as well. Like I was saying, not like, I don't want it to be an opening channel. That's not what this channel is about. It's more about the investing side, but it'll be cool to throw that in. In terms of an aim for me, and this is what I was talking about. So here's some advice, right? So there comes a stage when you do need to reflect. Now, I've given advice on this, how to track your collection, how to analyze it, how often you should analyze it. And for me, overanalyzing it just ruins the fun. Like, if you're checking it every week, if you're on the collector app every night, oh, it's gone up 2% today. Oh, my collection's gone up $50 today. Oh, it's gone down $40 today. It's gone down $100 today. You just end up ruining it. Like, you're checking it too much. You don't need to check it that much. But there comes a time when you do need to check it. You do need to reflect on what's performed well. You do need to learn from it, and then you do need to apply that to the future. And the future is 2024. Now, typically, now that I play golf, it's the only sport that I really play. But as athletes, which I'm sure a lot of you are or have been in the past, played sports in some stage, if you reflect too much, and that's what happens with me in golf, if I overanalyze and reflect on every round of golf, or I try and picture every single shot that I want to hit, I end up stuffing it up and I end up not enjoying it as much. But there does come a time when you need to reflect, and I think the end of 2023 is a time to reflect. So I think a couple of pieces of advice with that reflection is take a look at what's performed well for you. Maybe write down the 3 sets that have performed well for you as a sealed product, and then try and find some commonalities. What was it? What was it that made those 3 sets perform well? Was it because you bought them at the absolute low, at an absolute dip? Was it something to do with the printing inside those sets? Was it something to do with the hits inside those sets? As in, it just had top chase cards and heaps of ancillary hits inside it that made it a really good set. Then, as well as writing down the top 3 sets that have performed really well for you, another suggestion for me is write down the product that's performed best for you. And what I mean by that was it booster boxes? Was it Elite Trainer boxes? Was it Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes? Was it new booster bundles? Was it 3-pack blisters? Was it individual blisters? Was it some sort of tin? So what is the product that performed best for you? And then I suppose you can start getting a little bit of a game plan moving forward into 2024. If for you, the best performing things have been booster boxes, and it's been sets that are, 2 years out of print, you can go, well, okay, where do I want to park my money in 2024? Am I going to park it in solid sets that are pretty much bang on 2 years old and supply is nearly dwindled out, that they're going to start making a massive uptick, and I'm going to buy booster boxes? Because if that's the trend you've noticed in 2023, look, as I always say, past performance isn't a good predictor for future performance, but it sort of is in some cases. Like, that's what I've found. My best performing sort of sets for the year, really, like if I think about those for my collection, okay, what's performed best? Oddly enough for me, I looked at this myself. One is booster boxes, and the second best performing sealed product for me has been 3-pack blisters. And then if I delve into that further, right, and I want to use the 3-pack blister as an example. If I delve into that and I list the top 3 sets of 3-pack blisters, it's a solid set, so as in a good set with good chase cards, heaps of ancillary chase cards, and then the other thing thrown in there is a good promo. So then you go, okay, so 2024, what should I look for when it comes to investing in 3-pack blisters? I should make sure it's a damn good set, a set that has a lot of hype around it, and I want to make sure it's got a damn good promo in there. And then it's just like tick, tick, as Will Smith said, boom, like tick, tick, boom, like that should move north. So they will be good investments for 2024. The other side of the coin, booster boxes. Okay, so the ones that have made the biggest moves for me are realistically the oldest sets. Your Sun and Moon sets, your Cosmic Eclipse, Unified Minds. And what's good about them? They are just damn good sets. Like, they are really solid sets. You could rate Cosmic 9 out of 10. You could probably rate Unified Minds 8, 8.5 out of 10. It's missing a trainer gallery like Cosmic Eclipse has, which makes Cosmic stronger, but they are good sets. They weren't massively overprinted, particularly Cosmic Eclipse. So when it comes to 2024 and what you should buy and what you should invest in, personally, I'm still going to be trying to pick up the older Sword and Shield sets, particularly the ones that have the double banger. And I've said this before, things like Trainer Gallery plus Alt Arts, your Brilliant Stars of the world. Your Lost Origin of the world. Astral Radiance, I think, is a little sleeper set. Even Silver Tempest being the last main set from Sword and Shield era. So that's what I think. If I can offer any advice for 2023, that's how I think you should wrap up the year. Have a good reflection on it. Make sure, do those things. Choose your top 3 sets, choose your top 2 products, or 1 product or 2 products, and really drill down what's worked well in those sets, and then how can I apply that moving forward for 2024? Because essentially, if you are investing in sealed Pokemon, you want to get your money working for you as best as possible. There's no point just throwing it around and wasting it and throwing the dart blind at the dartboard and hoping it hits the bullseye. Like, that's just not going to land you in the direction that you want it to land you. Well, that's my summary, I guess, of 2023. I'm going to keep doing videos for 2023, of course. I just thought I'd do a bit of a summary video. We've got more coming. It's probably going to be another at least 9 videos for 2023, and then we're into 2024. So that's it. I'm Michael. This is Pokey Oz, and I look forward to chatting to you next time. Ta.